Let's go ahead and find average value of a function on a given interval. So the formula for the average value is often given as f average over a given interval. We call it f-AVE, just to simplify the notation. It is equal to 1 over b minus a, the integral from a to b of f of x dx. So this is the formula we use when it comes to finding average value of a function over a given interval a to b. So here's an example that we're going to be using to illustrate this idea. So say we want to find the average value of a function, let's say of f of x equals negative x squared over 2 on the interval 0 to 3. So you're going to be using this formula. It's a definite integral, and you multiply by 1 over the difference in the interval. So let's select, so we know this is our function, and we know that the interval we're looking is from 0 to 3, so you can call this your a value, this is your b value. So our average of this function, it's going to be 1 over b minus a, that's 3 minus 0, of the integral from 0 to 3 of the function negative x squared over 2 dx. So that's how you set it up. Now let's focus on integrating this right here. That's a definite integral, and then we multiply by 1 over 3. So this is 1 over 3. We're integrating. Now, if you want, you can simplify the integral by pulling this constant outside, which is a negative half. So I'm going to pull it out. That's negative 1/2 of the integral 0 to 3 x squared dx. So now let's integrate this. This is a definite integral. You'll use the power rule of integration to integrate that. So we have negative 1 over 6. When we integrate x squared respect to x, you get x to the third over 3, and we're going to take it from 0 to 3. So now we use the fundamental theorem of calculus, plug in the upper limit of the integration first. We have negative 1 over 6. Plug in 3, you get 3 cubed over 3, minus the lower limit of integration, 0 cubed over 3. So, and this simplifies to simply negative 1 over 6 from before, and 3 cubed over 3, well, that will just be 3 squared, and then of course this goes to 0. And this would give us negative, now 3 squared. I can also simplify that with the 6 on the bottom, so I will get a 3 on top over 2 on the bottom. So this is the average value of this function. Now let's go ahead and try another problem. So let's go ahead and now find the average value of, let's say, your function is going to be, let's do f of t is equal to t squared minus t, and we're going to find the average value on the interval negative 2 to 1. So let's do that. All right, so we'll do the same thing. I know that the average of value of this function is equal to 1 over b minus a, the integral from a to b of that function. So in this case, we're using t as the independent variable. So I'm just going to write f of t dt. So instead of x, we're using t. So this would be equal to 1 over b minus a. In this problem, this is your a and this is your b. So you will get 1 minus negative 2. So be careful with that. Integrating from negative 2 to 1 of f of t, that's t squared minus t dt. Now we do the same thing as we did before. We integrate and multiply by the difference on the interval. So this is 1 over 3, and we're integrating t squared. So that's going to be t cubed over 3, power rule of integration, minus integral of t, it's going to be t squared over 2, and we're going to take it from negative 2 to 1. So that will be the integration. Now we plug in the upper limit and minus the lower limit of integration. So we have 1 over 3 from before. So taking care of this first, plug in the upper limit of the integration into every t right here. So we will have 1 cubed over, so I'm plugging in 1 cubed. That's 1 cubed over 3 minus 1 squared over 2 minus, so put parentheses, negative 2 cubed over 3 minus negative 2 squared over 2. So that's all of it inside. Now let's do it very carefully so we don't make any algebraic error here. We have 1/3 from before, 1 cubed, that's 1 over 3, and then 1 squared, that's 1 over 2. Now here minus, so let me do the inside first. Let's do this carefully. 2 cubed, that's a negative 8 over 3, and then negative 2 squared, that's 4 over 2. So I'm just going to write it as 4 over 2. So I'm going to keep the denominator for now, since we're combining these numbers. So we have 1/3 from before, then this is 1/3 minus 1/2. So when you distribute the negative out, this is going to be positive 8 over 3, and then positive 4 over 2. And now we can combine these. So this one and this one, that's going to give us 9 over 3, which will be just 3. And then these two, we're going to get 3 over 2. So this is 3 over 2 times 1/3. And now we can combine them. So we have 1/3 times 6 plus 3. That's 9 over 2, which will simplify to 3 over 2. All right, so the average value for this function is 3 over 2.